Hey guys, good morning. I want to take a look at QASH today. QASH, cash. January 14, guys. That is the date. It's like 7 in the morning. I've been getting up a little bit too early lately. Is this what a normal sleeping schedule is like? A normal sleeping schedule where normal people get up at 7 in the morning? Oh, it feels so awful getting up this early. Like I always say, guys, waking up in the morning, it's always the second hardest thing. So, so we're gonna take a look at QASH today. But before we do this, I want to get some theory out of the way, okay, guys? We always have to make sure we understand theory before we can tackle charts. Because imagine yourself like as a scientist, right? And you're trying to perform an experiment. So you have to gather the data that's relevant to your research, right? So you can perform the experiment. So we have to understand some of the tools and okay, what am I trying to say, guys? The tools and some of the theory that is going on behind some of these trades and why we choose to plan ahead using these specific methods. So first of all, with Elliott wave count, okay, we're going to talk about two things. We're going to talk about leading diagonal and ending diagonal, okay? Now, I want to pull up from an actual textbook, okay, guys, some definitions of it. So, just as an example, diagonals occur in wave 5 or leading diagonals occur in the wave 5 or C position, okay? I want to be clear about that. However, it has recently come to light that diagonals occasionally appear in the first wave of impulses, okay, and the A position of zigzag. So let's keep this in mind for what they're talking about. So diagonals can occur in wave 5 or C positions. So when we talk about a rising wedge, okay, it cannot occur in wave 3 over here. So in each subwave, right, so it can occur in here, for example, a rising wedge. I'm not sure if I read that part, okay? Fifth wave extensions, truncated fifths, and ending diagonals all imply the same thing, dramatic reversal ahead. And this is an actual Elliott wave textbook. This one's like a condensed version with 100 pages. I've read a lot of these books. They're very interesting, and there's a lot of theory behind it to help us learn. And there's a lot of sub-rules as well that we have to learn. So from wave 4, we can have something like that, right? We can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it can be in this position right here. That is acceptable right there. Now, another way it is acceptable is in the ABC position, because C always has 5 waves. And if we had a typical 3-5-3, or sorry, 3-3-5 or a 5-3-5, then this position right here can also be a falling wedge, okay? It's also known as this one here is also known as a bullish falling wedge. And the other one that we saw earlier is known as a bearish rising wedge, okay? And this one here has 5 touches in the C position, okay? In the C position, it has 5 touches like that, and that would be considered an ending diagonal, okay? An ending diagonal, but that's a technical term, but we also know it as a falling bearish wedge. Now, once again, I'm going to read this part here, where it also says, it has recently come to light that they can occur in wave 1 position of impulses and in the wave A of zigzags. So now, we're going to clarify the A first, okay? A can come in many different ways, but C cannot. C comes in zigzag always, okay? It could be a channel, it could be a wedge, who knows? B always has some sort of ABC corrective pattern there. It could be A, B, C, D, E pattern. It could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pattern. So that one is usually considered a 3, 5 in the end at least. So this one is a 3, 5, 3 or a 5, 3, 5. Now, a zigzag is only considered when it is a 5 wave pattern like this right here, okay? And they are talking about it can only occur like that, okay? So yes, okay? Wave 1 position of impulses, they can occasionally occur in wave 1 position of impulses and wave A position of zigzags. That's just part of being clear about. wave A position of zigzags, and a zigzag has to be a 5, 3, 5 Elliott wave combo like that, okay? And now the very last one that's very important is that they can also occur in wave 1, okay? They can occur in wave 1. Now, assuming this is the primary cycle here, they can occur right here as well. So now we have to know where things can occur and where things cannot occur to give us a very good gauge of where we are in the market cycle, okay? I'm just going to use a general line there. And that would be 1 there, that would be 2, that would be a 3, and that would be 4, and that would be a 5. Maybe to not that extreme. You guys know what I mean, right? Just to give you an idea. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that we have all of these sub-rules in play, you guys are always learning something new from me, right? I make it my mission to dissect these charts and to make sure that they make sense. So now that we have some of the rules out of the way, we can now start looking at our trend lines. I've done work today already, guys. I already made 2 trades. One was on Ripple, one was on EOS. I got it on EOS like around 13.27 there. It's now like $14 and up. So I made like $100 something in that one. And on Ripple, I got it literally at the bottom. I tweeted this one only though. This one I made like $50. Who can complain about $150 in like literally 10 minutes of trading? It's like, this is what you call work, guys. Okay, so now we have a clear line, right? In hindsight, a lot of people will miss this one, okay? They will miss this one. What is this coming up here? Well, this is an ABC corrective pattern always first. ABC. It was probably predictable how far this one was going to go too, with a one-to-one extension, right? With a one-to-one extension right there. And people probably just put in a little box there because they assumed a typical zigzag. And the smart people probably got in on the very, very bottom here. Now, I didn't get in because I'm not smart enough, but I definitely was following it. I've been tweeting about this guy since day 1. So that's ABC now, and this is a wedge. Ta-da! Do we have all of our sub-rules in play? Right, guys? We drew it earlier. We talked about it. We're going to talk about it right here. Okay? We're going to draw in our Elliott waves. This is 1. This is 2. I always take it to the region of where it is here. This is where 3 is. This is where 4 is. Look at that symmetry, guys. It's quite beautiful, actually, the symmetry, right? If you look at it that way, maybe I'm just making it to fit my criteria. Who knows? I don't want to do that. So let's just choose an actual point. That's 2 down there. No, 2 would be right here. You know, the highest point, and the averages of the point of the lowest. And yeah, so that makes 5 waves. And, like it says right here, occasionally appears in wave 1 position of impulses and wave A. So if this type of wedge is occurring in here right now, does this mean this, guys? Does this mean this? That is all of wave 1, okay? Now I'm just going to delete this to make it clear. Does that mean that that is all of wave 1? And there's going to be a wave 2 correction for, good gosh, who knows how long, right? It could even be a failed impulse wave and move down below here. But I'm sure people will be interested around the 0.618 Fibonacci level. So if that is a leading diagonal first wave, does that mean that there's a 3rd wave somewhere up there? 4th wave, 5th wave, like that? Interesting, right? So just based on extrapolation, right? We know that this can't be like this is making ground right now to do that wedge is gonna break. I'm sorry to tell you guys, okay? First of all, it's gonna break. But if this one ended up doing something like that, is it also possible for it to make a channel? We ask ourselves, right? Well, I don't know why that one sloped differently. Clone. So if I made a channel like that, is it possible for this one to make a channel like that? Is it usually what happens is these make very extended type of corrections, right? They make extended type of corrections, but right now the point of this tactical analysis is to tell you guys that you guys missed the top. We all missed the top. I didn't get in on this at all. There's 5 wave counts in here already from what I see, right? And we're down ticking on the daily already. We're down ticking from the daily from yesterday quite a bit. The 4-hour one is about to cross over on the MACD. On the histogram, 4-hour as well, right? It's getting a lower high than here. RSIs as well is really not getting higher. It's bearishly diverging all across the board right now, even on higher time frames like 4-hour charts, 3-hour charts crossing over as well right now, right? And let's see if it's any, yeah. So it's about to cross over here on the, like on the 15-minute, it closed below already. On the 30-minute, it closed below the 55 moving average already. So I do think that this is the top for now. If it's not the top, guys, then we, this could just be the very first subwave and I'm counting it wrong, right? Like for example, in here, this is 5 waves, like 1, 2 around there. This is around 3 there. That's 4 and 5 there. Maybe I'm counting this one wrong and they can go up a tiny bit more, right? Tiny bit more, let's say to a 786 Fibonacci extension level. 786. Maybe it can go up to a little bit more, like around the $2.65 range. Okay, I want to be clear about that. Maybe it can go up to 265, right? But right now, as it stands, we're going to assume that this is the top. And if it is the top, guys, this is wave 1. And we're going to be waiting for a wave 2 corrective pattern that can come in many different ways, right? Who knows? It can come in an ascending triangle, right? It can come in an ascending triangle if A, B, C is strong enough. A, B, C, and it comes in A, B, C, D, E form. It can come in a wedge kind of form, right? It can come in a wedge kind of form where maybe not that low, okay? I'm just using it as an example, right? B and then C, just like that I'm talking about. It can come in this kind of form, but that can make it to an A, B, C, D, E. It can make it to like a channel like that maybe, which could make a flag, which will now become like A, B, C, W, X, Y, right? It can become a zigzag like that as well in here, coming down. So there's many different things to keep a watch for, but this coin, guys, it literally went from 51 cents to $2, 51 cents to $2.14 in just a few short days, right? It's only been 4 days, and wave 3 is always stronger than wave 1, right? It's always stronger than wave 1, guys. So we're just gonna assume a few worst case and best case scenarios, okay? So let's go with best case scenario where it retraces only a 0.86 Fibonacci level. Okay, let's go Fibonacci first of all. Let's get our Fibonacci tool up across the board like this. So now we're going to assume 2 cases. One, very bullish, right? Very bullish, and it actually makes a pattern like this. We're going to clone this one and just try to get a parallel line. I don't know why that does not look parallel, right? As I drag it down like here, it doesn't look parallel for some reason. But it obviously is. Actually, I'm gonna make a longer one than that. Does that look parallel, guys? Yeah, it looks parallel, right? So we ask ourselves, right, if this one was parallel like that, this line, like, is it possible for it to just drop to like a 382 Fibonacci region? So let's say that it does drop to the 382 Fibonacci region, okay? Just hypothetical, guys, indulge me for a moment. Hypothetical that it only drops there to very bullish, and then what we would do next is take our Fibonacci tool, okay, and just extrapolate some data. So we can assume best case scenario that a channel actually happens, and then if a channel does happen, then we would target, let's just say in the middle, right here, slightly above the 1-to-1 target ratio, right over here. So we'd be targeting between 355 and 415, about 355 and 415. Slightly higher because we assume wave 3 is often the longest and never the shortest. So minimum target would be 355, and actually the maximum target 2 would be 470, we would say. Yeah, like 470, that'd be better, right? So that's a range, but we don't want to use extreme range, we want to use the middle. So let's go 415-ish around, okay? 415, and now we will assume a different case where it actually retraces way more than that before it attempts a wave 3 breakout. Now we haven't even covered that wave 3 can also fail, right? It can also fail, and then it becomes a WXY pattern instead. So I want to be clear that this is not set in stone, but these are just these are just speculating, right? Some theories and just hypothesizing to see what is possible and what is not. But definitely, you know, we're definitely for a target 5 up there, I'd probably shoot for slightly here as well. Okay. Now let's assume that it corrects to 618 level before attempting a third wave, and it does, you know, something like that, for example. It's just something like that, for example. Who knows? Something like that, we'll just say, okay. And there is a wedge. Who knows? It could be a channel. And let's say it corrects a lot to the 618 region, right? Now, all of a sudden, I will use my fib extension to the 618 region instead, and I will lower my zone. I would lower my zone to right slightly above here. So long term, based on just extrapolation, okay? Just based on extrapolation, I want to be very clear that we've taken the minimum and the maximum ranges, the 382, the 618, just being conservative, right? Of course, you could always retrace all the way back to the bottom here, right? All the way back to the bottom and make like a super duper long-term consolidating like bottom base here, like a cup and handle. You can say, you gentlemen bring cup and handle up, but you guys know what I mean. That can happen as well, right? But let's just say that we get a typical retracement and a typical consolidation, right, between $1.22 and $1.45, and also assuming that this is now the very end of it, and this is also a wedge, guys, right? This is a wedge, and this is another theory as well. I'm going to show you guys, okay? Another theory is that you just take you take the base range of the wedge, right, as a target point. So I don't know if that wedge is the best one, but you take the base range of the wedge. So right here, for example, that fits inside of it as a target. Like just as an example right here. I might even prefer here, where the 55 moving average first is. Near the wedge. Get a shape, something like that in there. And then upon the breakout, that is where the target will be. Right? Upon the breakout. That might be actually pushing it. I want to choose the 55 EMA right here. Right? So let's just say that it's got one more touch to go, like I mentioned. Right? Upon breakout, right? We could be falling. Let's just say it makes one more touch up there because I didn't count the wave right. Let's just say that hypothetically for a second, I didn't count the wave right. Okay? And then if it fell down, it would be falling down right between the 67 cent mark, right? Which actually stays within the channel. So that's kind of impressive as well. So guys, we are in consolidation. A lot of people have requested this, right? There's really no buy zone yet, guys. There's really no buy zones because we missed this massive run up right now. And the only thing that you guys can really do right now is just, you can just sit tight. You just have to sit tight and add this one to your watch list and see how far this one retraces to. So I apologize for not having the best news. I'm not always going to be doing TA on coins that have like 1000% profit, guys. Like, I'm not here to shill coins, you know, or to pump them or anything like that. I'm here to give realistic, unbiased perspective. I'm not always going to be trading these coins that I do, but a lot of them I may be trading, but they're all going to get added to my watch list, right? And they're all going to get funneled down through, or they're going to get filtered down through my funnel there. And the ones that are more promising with good risk to reward ratios, I'll be interested in. So as it stands right now, guys, I'm not really interested in cash too much right now. I'm not interested in cash because I missed the 5 waves up right now, that looks like, right? There might be one more, once again, there might be one more going up there, but now I don't want to catch any of it because I've missed out on the big opportunity already. I mean, how much has it gone up, guys? Like, it's gone up like 300-400% already, right? So I want to wait for it to get down to a respectable Fibonacci retracement level. We'll just assume it could retrace to somewhere there for now. And then I want to try to play the possible breakout attempt that it makes to wave 3. It could be an X1 for all we know, and it fails entirely, right? But either way, I want to play that breakout because it's at least going to try to make an attempt for here. You know, let's say it retraces $1.23. It at least has a chance to double its money. So then that's a really good risk to reward ratio to me if a baseline support's found. So yeah. So other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I may be posting a blog-it version as well on Steemit. You guys are welcome to check it out there, where I would appreciate an upvote. And you guys can like, subscribe, share to my YouTube and Twitter, where I post a lot of good content, or tweet a lot of good content on Twitter as well, right? I want to make sure that people get a lot of notification for things that they might not have their eyes on at the moment, such as oversold conditions, right? You can call it signals, whatever you want. All I'm doing is tweeting what I see, right? And I see oversold conditions with low RSI. So it's not a signal. It's, you guys can take that information however you want. And you guys know all about my dog, Luna. You guys are welcome to donate to her cryptocurrency piggy bank as well that she's got. All the funds goes towards tequila and vodka for the mornings and afternoons. And hopefully we can save up some money for her to go to rehab, because she's got a little bit of a problem. It just started last year recently. She's been on doggydating.com for so long, guys. She's been on doggydating.com for like a year now, and there's been no matches, okay? She spent too much time on there. Too many nights, sleepless, just trying to look for a mate on doggydating.com, and she can't find anybody, so she's got to resort to the bottle. What am I gonna do with my dog? I might have to give her away. Actually, we don't give dogs away. We're Asian, guys. We eat them instead to make sure that they're always a part of the family. Okay, have yourselves a wonderful night, guys, and take care of yourselves and be cautious. Bye now.